Hi guys. Hi Shani. If you can't see, if I say a name and you can't see it, it's because I'm streaming on YouTube. So if you guys want to see this on YouTube, then do pop over there onto After Dark Coffee and Crime, and then you can see it. But otherwise, we are here on TikTok. So I'm trying to balance the two, and then I've got to start work at 5 because I'll be online. It's fine. It's work from home. Beautiful joy of having a travel business. Hey Nielka, why is that bad word? Hey Lizzie. So guys, see what I've done up there for you lot. I went and got some Pudsey Bears, gold Pudsey Bears, and now you guys can actually use them if you're in America, because I've got them on that's better. So you guys can use it, those of you that can't actually access it. Hello. I don't know who's in the chat right now. Hi guys. I'm going to mute on here in a minute on the YouTube, because obviously we're just waiting on the Tupac soundage. They are in the courtroom as we speak. Hey Shawnee. Hey Marianne. We got the secret and we unlocked the golden Pudsey Bear. The golden Pudsey. Which is not on YouTube. It is on my TikTok. I had a busy day and I was going to come home and I was going to nap, guys, and I didn't. Thank you, Shani. With the Pudsey Bear. Eh? How did you get up? That was weird. Hello. I don't know how you got up, because I didn't do anything.
You just said After Dark invited you.
The ghost in my house. Oh, dearie me. I'm streaming on YouTube and on here at the moment. Oh shit, I've just realised. Oh no, I won't. I need to just leave my iPad. I'm just multitasking at the moment.
Let me jump down then if you're streaming.
Yes.
Anyway,
I'll speak to you in a bit. Bye. Oh my god, I do not know what's going on with my systems. Oh, the judge is in the room. Oh, I forgot Vegas is like way behind us, isn't it? Hi guys. So if you want to see this live, why is Tom froze? Who the hell's Tom? TikTok. It shouldn't be. Swipe in and out. It's TikTok. Because I've got the green light, so I'm not frozen.
To confirm in 2 weeks, and I'm going to appoint counsel in 2 weeks because we got to get this case moving. Do you understand? All right, Mr. Goodman, you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, we'll continue this case for 2 weeks. That date is?
November 2nd at 8 a.m.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Benito?
Thank you, Judge. I'm here on the short phone, page 3.
One second.
Oh god, that was rather whistly, and I do not appreciate that in my ear. So if you want to watch this in the flesh, come and join me over on my YouTube channel. Hi YouTubers, there's two with me over here on the YouTubes.
All right, there seems to be a little bit of a technical difficulty on our end. Hopefully we're going to fix that. Corey, as you just heard a very small snippet of that, they were discussing possibility of when this could all start. When do you expect this trial to start?
Well, the judge was emphatic and said in 2 weeks. Again, there's another lawyer issue. You see, she was like, can you confirm? He said, I can't confirm at this point, but I need another 2 weeks. And the judge is like, no. In 2 weeks, either I'm gonna have to assign somebody. We got to get this case going. So we're still having some issues right now legally with the lawyer.
What factors go into that?
Well, the lawyer has to be compensated if there's a paid lawyer. If she's a legal lawyer, like if she's assigning a lawyer, it's coming, from the legal aid society, then they're getting paid their own salary, they will represent him. Well, he's getting a personal lawyer, they have to get paid. And I think that might be a problem right there, because this is the second arraignment. The first lawyer didn't show up. Now we have another lawyer that said, I can't really confirm at this point. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to end up being an assigned lawyer.
Well, when that actually does happen, what do you think the defense's case here is going to be? What is their biggest thing they're going to pinpoint here?
Well, the defense case is going to be pretty obvious, saying that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He was in the vehicle. And they might even go, because he's been talking so much, they might just be saying things like, this guy's, loose lips. Maybe we need to do a psychological evaluation. Like all of these things they're going to be trying to defend him with. But he placed himself in a car, so you can't get out of that. So the only defense they're going to have is he didn't have anything to do with the murder. He was just driving. He never passed a gun. I believe that's exactly what they're going to say.
Well,
you guys know how it is when you buy a new Mac. It's super fast at first, and then pretty soon after it starts to slow down. That's probably because you haven't been using Clean My Mac X, which will help
put him on the stand.
He might want to because of his ego, because listen, this is a guy that wants to be heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's the client. The client is the one that makes the decision, but I'm pretty sure the lawyers will be telling him, you should refrain from this. Unless you're really ready to go to prison for a very long time, stay off the stand.
Well, that would be smart. I'm sure people are going to advise upon that, but he may argue that he wants to talk. He did talk during the body cam footage as well when he was arrested. We're going to take a quick look at that and then talk about it on the other side.
Oh, yep.
Oops, they've gone silent again, guys. So we will just wait. Hopefully we won't miss out on too much. Where is everybody? Dun, 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 dun. Singing to you all because it's so nice like that. I'm gonna sing to you all. Ow, my back. That's not good. Hello, Michelle. Hello, hello. Hello, Michelle. Well,
arrest here? I mean, I'm sure you've dealt with this a lot in your career. Not everyone looks as calm as he was.
Oh, he's cool, calm, and collective. You can see, but he's a gangster. It's the same rigmarole. He's been through this numerous times. I don't know his rap sheet, but I'm quite sure he has a lengthy rap sheet. So he knows how to deal with the police. You can see he's laughing, he's talking, he's asking for a sip of water. His hands is behind his back. There's no resistance whatsoever. And he's just ready. Like, all right, I've been through this before. Take me down to the county jail. Let's get this done.
Well, he said, I'm only going out for a walk. And as he was walking, the cops approached him. It almost seemed like he wasn't taken by surprise. It almost seems like he wakes up every morning feeling, oh, when are they going to come for me?
Exactly. Yeah, that was the very early footage, which we didn't show. Yeah, it was like, he's ready. Just like, hey, I'm here. I'm Kiki D.
I'm multitasking.
Let's go. I've been waiting for you.
There was no resist at all.
No resistance whatsoever. But again, him resisting doesn't even make sense. You probably got 25 cops there. You see they're heavily armored. Where's he going? He didn't have a firearm on him. So he was just going for a morning walk. It didn't even make sense to resist. But because of his demeanor, it was easier for the cops. We like when people comply. Yeah. Put your hands behind your back. We give you water. I'll let you drink the whole bottle. That's nice. All we want to do is get home safe. We don't want any officers getting hurt. So this actually is an arrest that the police love because we don't have to engage in fighting or resisting.
Well, he's had many interactions with police over the past few years, past decade. But I think one that stands out is that there was one time where a cop had questioned him and he said, yeah, I'm involved on what happened in one of the biggest rap murder cases ever, September 7th, 1996. In fact, he was boasting that, hey, I'm involved in that case. So it almost seems to me he wants to get caught.
Yes, or again, Michelle, he really thought that he could get away with this because it's so long. You got to understand, it's like your kids, right? You put cookies in the jar. You tell them don't take a cookie out the jar. They keep taking the cookie. There's no punishment. You're not taking their phone, their television away. They're going to keep taking the cookies. So this guy was getting away for so long. He's like, hey, I could boast. I could talk about it. Nobody's coming at me. I've already said numerous times. I was in a vehicle. There was discussion and I passed the gun off to Orlando. That right there, him incriminating himself passing a gun. I don't know why he wasn't locked up at that point.
Well, can you describe a little bit about that relationship? Orlando Anderson, who was his nephew, he was murdered 2 years later after Tupac Shakur was murdered. Obviously, once again, if you guys are just joining us, Keefe D is the only living suspect. Oh, before I finish that thought, there is a presser now going on right now, so I want to take us to that.
Get hired to review the grand jury transcripts or to prepare a motion if one is needed. But obviously the things that jump out is that there's no gun, there's no car, and there's no witnesses from 27 years ago.
Mr. Goodman, when things get finalized, do you plan to ask for bail?
Of course, I think Mr. Davis should be released on OR. He's not a flight risk. He's not a danger to the community. He's lived in Henderson for 11 years. And he's not going anywhere.
Ross, how do you defend someone who hung out at the time publicly has said that they were there, they know what happened, and that they were handing this murder weapon to the person? How do you defend that?
Well, you have to look at the facts and circumstances surrounding why he gave those statements at the time that he gave those statements. But again, I haven't reviewed those statements in detail. I haven't reviewed the other evidence, but I believe there's a motive in the Senate on why somebody would make a statement like that, even though it may not be true.
Is G.D. Ball still representing him? Is E.D. Ball still representing Mr. Davis?
I'm not sure what his relationship is right now, or whether or not he's been associated into the case.
Could you speak at all about the proffer agreement that he made with LAPD detectives 15 years ago?
That's one thing I haven't reviewed in detail, so I can't make a comment regarding that.
When you talk about how large this case is, I mean, how much work is this industry going through?
It's a big case. I mean, it's 27 years in the making, so I understand there's about 600 pages of grand jury transcripts, and you can imagine the amount of evidence and potentially impeachment evidence that comes along with all these witnesses that are going to come out of the woodwork.
There have been suggestions from key people himself that he has cancer, he has potentially terminal cancer, that his health is in very bad shape. Can I ask you, what do you know of that? How is he doing? You spoke of him today. What's his mood like?
Well, he's happy I was there today, and he's happy that shortly I can confirm his counsel if it gets finalized and that we can bring a motion for bail so he can be released. And with respect to his medical condition, I've heard the same things. I haven't reviewed any medical records yet, so I can't comment on that. But apparently he did have colon cancer shortly before he gave those statements.
How's his well-being? How's his spirits?
The spirits are fine right now. He thinks that there are defenses, and he wants to fight the case.
Why did you say he confessed?
Well, I don't know if that is a confession. That's a legal conclusion. And like I said before, I'm not even in on the case yet. I haven't reviewed anything, but just based on the reports, I believe when I see these statements, which are extrajudicial statements, that there are reasons on why people say things. But as everybody here knows, that you have to corroborate those statements. And if you don't have a car, if you don't have a gun, you don't have witnesses to corroborate what Mr. Davis said under those circumstances, I believe there's an obvious defense to that on why he made those statements and the motive for making those statements. That's all I can answer at this point. See,
That's all I can hold too.
I was like,
yeah.
too much.
It's heavy after a while.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Y'all bring a stand next time. I'm told you. Yeah. Man.
All right, as you just heard, that was Keefe D's lawyer, Ross Goodman, answering some questions to the media. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to head back to Las Vegas to see the latest. Anjanette Levy is also on standby to talk to us. We'll be right back.
Bringing homes to life with the Cotswold Company. Discover our range at cotswoldco.com.
for coming back to Law and Crime. I'm Michelle Yu. The arraignment for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was just delayed again for the 1996 death of rapper Tupac Shakur. Now, Law and Crime's Anjanette Levy was inside that courthouse for the arraignment. We will get her on very soon. But for now, I want to welcome another legal guest for today, Matthew Mangino. Matthew, welcome. What is your take on this whole case with Keefe D?
Well, it's interesting, and when you contrast it with what we just saw yesterday with Joran Vandersloot, here's a guy who admitted to a murder and can't be charged with homicide because of the statute of limitations in Aruba. And here we have, what, a 27-year-old homicide that's now being prosecuted because new evidence has been obtained. So it's interesting to contrast these two cases and how they're so very different.
Matt, what did you take away from Keefe D's lawyer there, Ross Goodman, on what he had to say?
Well, it's interesting to see, again, that this arraignment has been delayed. And I think it's in part because of what we've heard from his attorney. And I think that, certainly this isn't the place where you're going to enter a guilty plea or you're going to do anything other than plead not guilty, find out what the charges are against you. And then, the case moves forward. It's docketed, it's scheduled. So it's not surprising that counsel, jockeys sort of for position and for the public at this stage of a proceeding.
Now, the other guest for this hour is former NYPD Commander Corey Pegues, who's in studio with me. Corey, what did you make of the lawyer there and what he had to say?
Well, just like Matt said, and I defer to Matt as a attorney, it really wasn't much he was saying. It was all the same stuff. He was deferring and hoping. What I got out of it was they haven't signed a retainer at this point, so there's not much he can say. And he did say, like, once that paperwork is done, then I can put in release on bail. So he can't really do much at this point because he's not officially his attorney.
Well, what I also got away from that, Matt, and as we were watching that, he said he hasn't reviewed all the materials about this case yet, but he does believe there's, a whole defense here, and that's that they don't have a weapon, they don't have any of that, and also he's the only living suspect. How big of that is it in play here?
Well, Michelle, anytime you're dealing with a homicide that occurred 27 years ago, and now you're trying to prosecute that case, it's always going to be difficult. And there's always going to be opportunity for the defense to make something out of, missing witnesses, unavailable witnesses who are now deceased or potential witnesses, the murder weapon, all those things, play a role in a case like this. And the fact that it's taken 27 years to make an arrest and to proceed with the prosecution all works in favor of the defense.
All right. And of course, our Anjanette Levy is in Las Vegas. She is covering this for us on Law and Crime. We hope to hear from her very soon. We do need to take another quick break here. Much more to do here on a very busy day of trial coverage. We'll be right back.
Have you had an accident in the last 2 years and haven't filed a compensation claim because you thought your injury was too minor to matter? Not filing a claim for an injury can be a costly mistake. Compensation isn't just for physical injuries, but also emotional and mental trauma caused by an accident. Furthermore, there are legal time limits for filing a compensation claim, and if you miss them, you'll lose your chance for a claim. Our pre-qualification app can quickly and easily help you determine if you qualify for maximum compensation. By clicking the Start Now button, you'll answer 3 simple questions about your accident, and one of our compensation specialists will call you back to discuss your case and help you claim thousands of pounds. Don't wait. Solve the problem now by clicking the Start Now button.
Welcome back to Law and Crime. I'm Michelle Yu. If you're just joining us, the arraignment for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was delayed once again for the 1996 death of rapper Tupac Shakur. Law and Crime's Anjanette Levy was inside that courthouse for the hearing, and she is here with us now to bring us the latest. Thank you so much, Anjanette. What were the vibes inside that courtroom?
Well, Michelle, it was kind of like Groundhog Day. We were all here 2 weeks ago for this same procedure, the same arraignment hearing. It was continued yet again. This time, though, Keefe D had a lawyer present. That's Dwayne Davis. His street name is Keefe D, of course. And his name is Ross Goodman. He does high-profile cases here in Las Vegas. His mother is the mayor of Las Vegas. And he asked for a 2-week delay because he said he's still finalizing the representation agreement with Dwayne Davis. And so there are some things that are still going to need to be worked out. So this arraignment will be continued until November 2nd. Same vibe as last time, really. A little less media there. I did not see Keefe D's family here this time, but I did meet up with a friend of his who came to support him. He wasn't in the courtroom, but he was outside the courtroom. So you could see Keefe D. I mean, he's very serious. He knows this is serious. It doesn't get any more serious than this in the legal system. He is facing a murder charge with a gang enhancement. So it's a case that is a very high profile case here in Las Vegas, and the Las Vegas Police Department and the DA have said that this is an important case. And joining me to discuss it is somebody who has handled his fair share of high profile cases. He is Gabe Grasso. He represented O.J. Simpson, you may recall, back in 2007, 2008, in that robbery case where O.J. Simpson went into a hotel and robbed some people with the assistance of others of some memorabilia. So, Gabe, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Your thoughts on what happened today?
Well, this is just sort of the, I guess, ugly underbelly of how these cases get started with not much going on. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Mr. Keefe D, that's what he goes.
Keefe D, yes.
Keefe D.
Dwayne Davis,
Yeah,
yes.
Dwayne Davis. I'd call him Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Davis is attempting to hire Ross Goodman. He's apparently made an agreement with him to a retainer agreement, but there's still some things to work out. And that's where we're at with this. You know, it's an interesting case, and I spoke with Ross. I've known Ross for 15, 20 years. And he's a capable attorney. I've actually tried cases as co-counsel with him, and he can handle this. He'll be able to handle this case. It's just a question of the client getting the lawyer on board and seeing where we're at when the dust settles and we get here in 2 weeks, and hopefully Ross can say, you know, I'm going to confirm his counsel, because that's what he's got to do. He's got to confirm his counsel. And then they're going to set they might set a trial date, they might set a status date, but normally they would set a far out trial date with some dates in between.
Mm-hmm. You said you spoke with Ross. We just saw you over there speaking with him. You've tried cases with him. Tell us a little bit about his style. He seems very sure of himself. He came down here and talked with us. He says 600 pages of grand jury transcripts. He hasn't read them, but he already sees defenses to this case.
One of the most difficult things for somebody to do in a case like this is hire the right lawyer, because I've been trying cases now for going on 35 years all over the country. Most of my practice now is federal, but I tell people that, you know, it's very difficult to really know who to hire. You can't go by the billboards. You can't go by, not that criminal defense lawyers use billboards, but you can't really go by that. And so at least I can tell you that, you know, there are a handful of lawyers in any jurisdiction that are the top criminal defense lawyers. And Ross Goodman is a lawyer who regularly practices criminal defense. You want at least that. Hopefully he'll be able to, and he's got a team around him. He's got a going office. He's here every day. So that's